Hello. Hey. While you are getting seated, we are getting ready the sprint information. It's not going to take long. And after that, we will get to the lightning talks. We have lots of lightning talks, so let's see how it goes. And after the lightning talks, there will be a short closing session. But so far, thank you for being here, and I hope you have enjoyed it. We have the sprint lead, Fred, to introduce the sprint. All right.
Good afternoon. Who does not know what a sprint is? I don't believe you, but I do believe maybe you. So, a sprint is a happy together for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 days, where people come to a location, sit together with facilities, and they hack together, they talk together, they arrange things together, they discuss things together, and they get stuff done. In this case, we would like to get stuff done for the Plone community. In particular, we've already been working a year on the next version of Plone, Plone 7. We've also been maintaining Plone 6.2, or actually 6.1, and we're now going to in maintenance almost for the release of Plone 6.2. So, we have a happy get-together tomorrow at the Lade building, where we also had the trainings on Monday and Tuesday. I posted a message this morning in the announcements PloneConf on Discord, which I just shared here above. I've also put it on the Sprint channel, so everybody should have access there. And it's basically a shared Google Doc, where I happily just copied the main subjects from many sprints we've already had since last year and many years before. This is the way we happily together organize this thing. The main information is there. If you want to join the sprint tomorrow or on Sunday, add your name to the participants list. There's some general information here. The building will be open. Riku-Pekka has promised me at 9. And there are the main organization thing is that you organize yourself, and we organize ourselves through this document. We have a number of subjects here. I posted this message this morning, and as you can see, the people who know what a sprint is already started very actively doing things. A bit too active here, so the idea is here that you just introduce the subject here, what you want to work on, and there are documentation, plone.org. Maybe there should be a listing here already. Yeah, oh, look at that. Modern IT technology. So, restricted Python, C Python, tab, store blobs on S3, Luna distribution, like I said already above here. There's Plone 7. Well, we don't need to add some stuff there. Right, Piero? No, everybody knows what Plone 7 is. If you don't know what Plone 7 is and you would like to get started, Victor and Piero promised me they will do a short introduction, a very short introduction, because we've also already had a training on it. There's a lot of material online, but still there are 2 people there that know exactly where we are and where we're going with Plone 7. So they will help you. They will get stuff set up. It's not that we expect you to finish 7 tomorrow, but if you haven't touched it yet, then tomorrow will be the ideal time and place to get hands-on instruction from the people who know best, and also others, of course. There are other core developers who are already there and helping. But like I said, help is appreciated, but basically you can sprint on anything. Not even Plone stuff, but I didn't tell you that. So, that's it. We start, the building opens at 9, we start at 10 with a so-called stand-up. If you haven't made up your mind at 10, then you can still, up to then, we'll do a round. You can introduce yourself shortly and say what you want to work on. The fun gets started, and we do a wrap-up around 5 p.m., where you can, again, we stand up together, we do a round, and we tell each other what we've accomplished. My request as a sprint coordinator, we really love these documents since a few years, because otherwise people do a lot of nice stuff, they go and we have no clue what they were working on. So I will take notes. My deputy Alok will take notes. He's also available. If you have questions tomorrow, ask me, ask Alok. On Sunday, Asko Suka will take over. So he also knows what's going on. And essentially, I think 2/3, 3/4, 4/5 of the people there have done sprints before. So it's a nice family get-together where we get stuff done. Any questions? Cool. See you tomorrow.
Perfect. Hello, hello. Nice to see you here. And I also found my cursor. That's wonderful. So yes, hello. Welcome everybody. I'm Mari. Hello, all the new faces. And today I'm here to give you some insight into the development of Finnish casseroles based on my personal interpretation on a bunch of material that I've read recently. You know, Finnish cuisine has a reputation of being simple, even on festive occasions, say like Christmas. Let's look at how this has happened. And here are the stars of today's show. Casseroles in order of appearance: rutabaga, carrot, potato, and cabbage. A Finnish casserole or laatikko is a baked oven dish, so that's food, made with one main ingredient, combined with milk, egg and seasonings, and may include ground meat or rice. And technically they are very simple to cook. First you boil and fry everything, then bake some hours in the oven. Even though the prep time is a bit on the longish side, it's worth it since casseroles can be stored safely for several days with proper refrigeration. But without it, they need to be consumed same day. And the simplest ones are traditional, especially for Christmas. You see the little tree there. And the more sophisticated ones, say cabbage, liver, and macaroni casserole, they are very popular for everyday meals. Let's take a look at the history. How did we come to this point in time? You see, the first casserole that we have, the rutabaga, it dates back to the 1700s. And those were very, very harsh times for Finland, and you can see just how harsh it was by the look of the dish. We had crop failures, we had famine, wars, plague, and other unrests. It was quite horrible, and rutabaga casserole was the most festive thing we could have for Christmas. And it all got a bit better with the potato revolution in the 19th century. Potato arrived Finland after the Pomeranian Wars, and by the 1800s it had taken over the stage from the turnip. Potato improved food security very much, and it was easy to grow, to cook, and to store, and you can eat the peels for extra vitamin C. And see above the recipe for imelletty perunalaatikko, which is it's a local dish in Häme. No added sugar, so it's perfect for your winter diet. And then, at the turn of the 20th century, is where things go really interesting for the casseroles. You see, industrialization brought more people to towns, and here, the new urban middle class, they could have made a choice to leave the rutabaga behind. They could have afforded the same dishes that the richer Swedish and Russian aristocrats were having. Instead, national awareness was in the fashion those days, which often culturally means, as we know, is more interest in the nostalgic. So we can say that casseroles, they served as a symbol of something essentially Finnish and good old times in the farms. Okay, so casseroles are now a part of a shared national culture, and rice and syrup and raisins are more affordable, and carrot, rutabaga and liver casseroles climb into the new gentlefolk's Christmas tables for good. And in 1950s, we see yet another huge change in the Finnish society. Firstly, women go to work outside of home, and all the family dinners need to be simple and faster to prepare, so the new convenience food industry embraces the casseroles. Liver casserole being the first to be introduced into the stores by Saarioinen in 1957. And what is more, the structures of the welfare state have now taken shape, and those typical institutions provide residents with a hot meal every day. And as we know, casseroles are technically really simple, and now in the post-war era also increasingly affordable. So they soon become the weekday staples for all families, with new favorites, such as the macaroni casserole taking the crown from the turnip. By looking into the evolution of our cornerstone casseroles, we have also uncovered how Finnish society has changed and adapted and turned to a Nordic welfare state. Thank you for being with me on this journey, and let's hear it for the casserole.
Thank you. Next up we have Martin with the membership topic, and after that preparing Timo with wipe coding.
So just a quick question. Who is here is not a Plone Foundation member? Can you please stand up? Stand up, please. Okay. Now, who attend at least 2 conferences? If you not, sit down. Come on, guys. Yeah. And who organize a conference and are not a Plone Foundation members? Jussi? Mirto? Come on, guys. Fill in your application, because at the end, being a Plone Foundation means to the world that you care about Plone, and that's the most important thing that you can do. Thank you.
Thank you. After Timo we have Jakob, and after Jakob it's Eriko.
I would like to talk about vibe coding and AI assistant development. The term AI assistant development comes from, I think, Adi Osmani. He wrote a book about that topic. I can highly recommend it. In recent years, I started to get into electronics and Raspberry Pi and toy around with that. I have a 9-year-old son who shows lots of interest in circuits, soldering, and all kinds of electronics and computers. And Raspberry Pi is great. And often I have to look up things, and I started to use ChatGPT for all kinds of questions that I had around that, because it was faster to get a response, right? And one of the projects that we have is this Pico Go, which has a Raspberry Pi Pico. And my son wanted to have a remote control for that. And my son, like a 9-year-old, he has a short attention span, so he wants to have that ready in 5 minutes or so. And I used to be a programmer, so I know how to create a REST API and flash microcontrollers with MicroPython and stuff, right? So that's not rocket science, but I'm not that good that I can create a remote control, and when I have that, he wants to have a remote control on his iPhone, right? And that's a bit more complicated. So to cope with that, I started to use ChatGPT and Claude. And for this particular project, that went quite well, right? Especially Claude Code. No, I actually asked Claude. And then when those projects became we had more projects like this, and my son wanted to have a website up and running. So I toyed around at first with ChatGPT creating a website, and the experience wasn't that good. But then at a later point, I tried Claude Code. We create this website. My son actually created that website. I didn't write a single line of code, just Claude Code. And he adds new projects like this by basically taking the Claude app, like telling Claude, he doesn't like typing, so he tells Claude, hey, create a new Pico Go project, and it creates that, right? And our next project is that we want to build like an open source home assistant where you can basically tell like, hey, add that to my web page, right? So the results were pretty good. Of course, I told Claude to use Bootstrap, right? Because I know there's lots of documentation, right? So this is prompt engineering. So you have to be like, think like a programmer, right? Not like, hey, create a website and it will work. It's not like that. This is not how AIs work. But the experience is pretty good. And I sincerely believe that like for the low end, if you have a small website with a few pages, I don't think that anyone will use WordPress in the future because it's so easy to create that and tell AI what to do. So after that like experience, I thought like, hey, I have this other like pet project that I tried 3 to 4 times, and I got angry after I had to spend more than like an hour or 2 to solve the problem, which is generating Plone contributor statistics. Like to see how many pull requests you have over the years. We used to have this OH count thingy back in the days. So I wanted to have that, and I vibe coded that with Claude Code. And I love Claude Code because the user interface is great. It's like made for programmers, right? It's not an IDE, it's on the command line, everything, but it shows you the pull request diffs and everything, right? So it's like working with a pretty good junior developer. So within like 2 evenings or so, I created everything. It's on GitHub. I contributed that to Plone. I added lots of different exports. So this is Flourish, but I also have CSV files of the contributors over the years, right? I think you saw those fancy thingies. I also have a Markdown report or PDF report there, also the CSV statistics. So if you're interested, go there, like change things or whatever. The data is there, so yeah, have fun with that. But I like that a lot, and I was pretty impressed what I accomplished. Then we had a client project where the client for an intranet solution, they have existing systems like SharePoint, team sites on SharePoint, Confluence, Nextcloud, and different services, and they want to have a central search for that. And I did that in the past, so I know what you need to do. But because those were big systems, I wanted to get an idea of how much work it was in terms of like scalability and syncing the schemas and stuff. So I vibe coded that. I created a 5 or 6 Solar Core system with a central search. I scraped all these systems, and I even created a web UI for this, which gave me good insights about like the challenges that we have both from the UI side, and that worked pretty well. I think I spent 3 evenings or so on that. So the full prototype is there. It works with all the Zola schemas. It went into the wrong direction at some point. Crap. Okay.
Sorry, we wanted to demonstrate the harsh rules of like lightning talks. 5 minutes max, and then you're out. Next up is Jakob, and after Jakob, Eriko, with 2 topics, I guess. Oh, just one, and yeah.
Also, a quick question. I'm not able to connect to the speaker system, right?
No,
I am.
you can.
I
Let's
can.
try.
This is. Oh, okay. Then I'll tune down the volume a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. As it has been tradition, I'm here to introduce another band from my local town of Bonn. So let's just listen. Does this start? We don't have any audio. Well, wait a sec. We'll give it another try.
You have to select the other speaker, the other output.
How? Where?
It looks loud already.
Sound. Oh, it's playing on my headphones. Awesome. What is? I assume it's this one. We don't see anyone. Ah, that's good. Awesome. Let's give it another try then. Come on. Okay, because I don't have a lot of time, let's continue. So they are called Alien Fight Club. This is what they look like. And they do have a guitarist, as you might have noticed. This guy is Kolja, and he also has a second job. He's a photographer. And here are some pictures that he took during the last years. For example, this one, or this one. Nice hair, Timo, by the way. This one. Thank you. Or this one. We also have this one, and this one from last year. So, you might have an idea what this is about. We have another Beethoven sprint next year. So, if you want to be in one of those pictures next year, feel free to come. We'll probably work on Plone 6.2, 3, I'm not sure, and 7 or 8, I don't know. Let's see. Also, right after the sprint, if that maybe convinces you to come, there is FatCon, which is like a geeky, mostly Star Trek centered, but not only Star Trek convention in Bonn. So feel free to join there as well. I know a few colleagues already have tickets for that. Yeah, please come. And while you are in the region, the week after, there's Buschenschank sprint as well. So if you didn't have enough Plone by then, feel free to travel down to Austria as well. I'm not sure whether that band is playing. I can talk to them. I mean, he might be busy taking photos, so he can't play. Let's see.
You can make him play, right?
All right. Thank you, Jakob. And as you can see, the topics can vary in the lightning talks, but somehow they always come to some logical conclusion. Okay, so next up we have Eriko, and after Eriko, it's Alex with the topic Attracting Young Talent. Preparing.
Okay, let's hope it works.
Hello, I'm Matheus Nunes Santana and I work at Simples Consultoria on Plone and Volto. And today I'm presenting the Volto image editor. As the name says, it is an image editor add-on integrated to Volto to make editing images easy inside the CMS. The idea is simple. Let users make visual tweaks directly inside Volto. Crop, resize, rotate, adjust the image settings, and save back the content without leaving the site. Focusing on usability like having multiple aspect ratios, image restriction modes, and other features that I will show you. So let's make a brief demo. So here is a simple Plone site. So let's add an image. Click here, let's add a file, and let's edit. We can rotate the image. We can flip it horizontally and vertically. We can reset this position. We can change the saturation, the brightness, the contrast, and the hue. We can also reset the settings. We can zoom in, zoom out, and change the crop size. In some special settings, we have aspect ratios, changing the aspect ratio of the crop size. We can change the size inside the aspect ratio as well. In image restrictions, we can fill the screen with an image. We can also use stencil mode to zoom out, really zoom out. We also make free, so we can crop an image. So let me here make fit. So we go back again to normal. Can change to a circle, the stencil grid. And we also have some minimum and maximum dimension sizes. So we can make it here a 100 crop. So we have the minimum 50 and the maximum 100. But let me take it out and also activate the stencil grid. So we can have the users with a grid to orient themselves. So let me pick here and crop it. Let me change the saturation as well. So here it is. We can save it and that video. Ta-da! We here have it. The image crop it and change the saturation. And that is it. Thank you for listening to this presentation. The good news is that Photo Image Editor will be published on Friday or today. I don't know where this presentation is happening. And hopefully you can use it as well. Thanks again for your time. Bye-bye.
Tomorrow, okay? Sorry. But yeah, and if people want to help, would be great. But I'm going to give another state off now because, come on, this joke will never die. First thing is state of Plone typing, and typing is not content types, it's typing information. We are surrounded, okay? I know, oh no, but Python, I don't like typing and so on. Yeah, there are 10,000 projects or more on PyPI right now that claim to have typing information. That would be useless. That could be small projects that no one cares, like Django. But you can also have like real useful projects like SciPy or something. Jokes aside, I noticed that this is a trend, is happening and so on and so forth. And for me personally, it's interesting because it helps documentate what you're doing. If you're not as gifted as Steve Percy, this is an alternative. But come on, it's just outside world, right? No. You see, it seems our front-end developers like this, and it seems the back-end developers like that as well. Okay, I know it's not fair, but that's core. Plone export import is core, and there's this crazy dude that start typing stuff. That's me. Okay, I know, but that's the alternative to write really long doc strings in the old Sphinx way, like the Romans used to do, with error type and so on and so forth. Only for the documentation it is already worth, right? But if it was just a matter of, oh, other people are doing that, I'm so sorry. Who in here gives Plone trainings to new people? Not giving Plone trainings to training to really smart people. No, that was one talk.
This is the other.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'm just speeding up. Oh, come on. I want 5 seconds back.
Finally.
So one thing that happened to me, like 4 times this year, I gave 4 trainings for development, and then, oh, there's a bug in here. How do I fix that bug in there? First thing is that's VS Code, and you see the red thing underlined. Is the problem? Is it a bug or not? No, it's not. But then, of course, I want to show how much I know about Plone history, and I go there and say, no, it's not a problem. This is metaprogramming because we have a decorator and a click and so on, and people, okay, I don't want to know. But of course, if they ignore this one, they're going to ignore everything that's red under and so on. And it's kind of a pain in the ass. And of course, we can say, yeah, I don't care about that because I'm not teaching Plone to new people. That's a really good excuse, and then it's probably going to be the Schrödinger cat of, oh, there are no new Plone developers. Yeah, if someone finds a way of bankrupting Microsoft, would be great as well. That would solve our problem, but yeah, for now. And earlier today, we had a great talking about Python typing by Shuk. Shuk? Yes. And she mentioned something I made, I asked a question. She gave me the perfect quote to put in here, but I'm not going to do because some of you are going to be offended when Mikko said true things like, oh, we have one way of doing things, let's fix that. Now we have 2. We have 2 ways, but now we have Diazo. Now we have 3 ways of doing the same thing. So what I just want to mention is like, I counted there were 6 Plonistas in here. And then again, oh my God, where's everyone? But I know it's hard. It's 30 years of code. Come on. That's code in Zope that was written before date time the standard library existed. It's that old. Oh, come on. It's Zope, right? Zope is hard. Zope interface, oh my God, it's impossible. Oh my God, 170 different packages. How do we start? And I was talking to a friend and he said, no, we can go to the packages and start doing it. And then we enter a kind of a deadlock situation because, oh, I need to start typing. So I'll probably start typing everything with Z catalog because that's important because abstract, brain, and so on. And going all the way to Plone, yeah, that's hard. Then I found out some brilliant people that have a solution. Not the two guys in the guys in the middle. They're doing something. You know, there's something in Voto code that allow people that are really willing to implement, like typing in their code. Who in here develops Voto stuff? How many of you do that with TypeScript? How many of you use Plone types? Okay, so I have 4 victims. Let's talk tomorrow. So Plone types exist. There's some bugs in there we need to fix. And I'm going to suggest we implement something called Plone stubs. There are already thousands of stub libraries around. I found out about this thanks to requests and something else and so on and so forth. And already I have a proof of concept working generated with MyPy. So it's just a matter of basically go over 30 years of code and start slowly adding type to other places. The important thing in here is, and I'm going to give an extended version of this talk in a week. I don't want to, Plone is not going to be better or Zope is not going to be more secure because we have typing. But on the other hand, documentation is going to be better. And Alessandro Pisa told me. And I still had 17 seconds. Aha! 12. Thank you guys. Spring tomorrow.
Sorry, the power got over me, so, or at least, but I didn't have the power. Thank you. Okay, next, Alex, and after that, preparing Karel. Yes.
Yeah. Oh. I'm just not going to use external one. So, isn't that a wonderful photo? Yeah. So, how to attract young talent? First, thank you. That's an absolutely wonderful Plone conference this time. I've never been so north. Nature, seas, and really wonderful, friendly people. Also, I cannot really follow this distant Finnish narrative. We liked it very much here, and my youngsters that I brought this time for the conference, they got a spot on experience what the community really is. Hi, I'm Alex. I live in Munich, in Germany, and run SysLab. We at SysLab, we have been working with Plone for a very long time, and we've never before organized a conference. So a few years ago, we have been asked to do it, but the time was not right. Huh? We tried at that time to explain to the authorities what a remote company is. Also privately, I had my challenges. And today the situation is different. We are reorganized, fully ready to embrace the task. Munich is a great city for a conference, easy to reach. It's technologically strong, good infrastructure, lots of entertainment, possibilities to connect, and certainly enough beer. So, the Plone Conference 2026 will be not in Munich. When we looked at a place that embodies collaboration, we didn't want yet another tech city. We wanted a place that reminds us why we build things together. We found a place with a history of openness and collaboration, where borders meet and boundaries fade away. It's not just a place to visit, but a place to meet, share ideas, and start projects that last. The open source movement is built on the principle that innovation happens fastest when ideas are exchanged freely, yeah? When code crosses borders and when diverse perspectives work together towards shared goals. In 1992, a small border city became the stage for one of Europe's most significant turning points. Here, a treaty was signed that transformed a loose economic community into a union founded on cooperation, shared purpose, and common values. It was a statement that progress requires collaboration, not just between markets, but between people. By bringing our community there, we are connecting our work to that legacy. It symbolizes the power of collaboration, and just as Europe redefined itself there, we hope this gathering will help to make clear what's possible for open source. You think?
Let's twist that angle. Alex is not just my business partner in Quave. He's also a dear friend of mine. So when I got married 3 years ago, I invited Alex not only to the wedding, I also invited him to the stag party, and I invited him to a private dinner with my to-become wife, who invited her best friend, Monica. Where is she? And the stars aligned and the planets shifted that evening, and as a result, Alex been in the Netherlands more and more and more. So as a consequence, he's now crazy enough, Syslab is crazy enough to organize the next Plone conference in Maastricht, the Netherlands.
Maastricht is located in the south of the Netherlands, situated in the heart of Europe and surrounded by Belgium and Germany. Cities like Düsseldorf and Brussels are just a stone's throw away. Because of its central location, Maastricht is easily accessible by plane, car, or train. There are frequent train connections to Liège, Brussels, and Aachen, where you can transfer to international trains. For example, Thalys, TGV, Eurostar, to London, Paris, and other European cities. Within Maastricht, you can also easily find your way. Thanks to the compact city center, everything is within walking distance. If you are traveling by plane, there are 3 international airports in the vicinity of Maastricht: Brussels-Zaventem Airport, Düsseldorf International Airport, or Schiphol Amsterdam Airport. These airports offer a wide variety of European and intercontinental flights. From Brussels and Düsseldorf Airport, it's only a 1-hour drive to the doorstep of your hotel. From Amsterdam Airport, there's a direct train connection to Maastricht. To complete the accessibility from the airport terminal to your hotel, we provide a Go to Maastricht booking tool. This booking tool guarantees a direct connection between all international airports or train stations and the city of Maastricht. Via an online booking module, you can easily book your own transport, tailored to your travel itinerary and at an affordable rate. We are sure you will easily find your way to Maastricht, and we can't wait to welcome you.
Wow, this gives me butterflies. People have been perfecting the art of living here for over 2,000 years. In castles, when business was booming, or in caves in between peace, it definitely had something to do with the location of this town, right in the heart of Europe. Where hearing 5 different languages on the streets is normal. Yeah, dankjewel. It just makes you feel welcome, you know? Imagine Paris, but walkable. Perfectly balancing the old with the new. The city is a knowledge and innovation hub, proud of its disruptive discoveries, which are making us healthier, and more sustainable.
So, what do you eat?
Oh yeah,
Is that simple because it's super common?
it makes perfect sense that a lot of international events are taking place here.
Ja, nee, dat draag je toch niet?
In one of the many hotels. From fancy to boutique. And a state-of-the-art convention center. It's the perfect place. Because everything comes together here.
We're really looking forward to meeting you all there again.
Thank you. All right, and the glorious task follow-up that it comes to Karel. Please, next lightning talk. No pressure. And after Karel, we have Andrew's presentation. And after Andrew, it's Naomi.
How do I follow that? So, yeah, a difficult one to follow up. But so when I was in my early 20s, I decided to give having children a test run. And I joined an organization called Big Brother, Big Sister South Africa. Some of you might have similar organizations in place in your countries. It's where you essentially become a big brother, or for the ladies, a big sister to a child who does not have a family structure in the same sense. When we did training, because this made it a little bit more meaningful for all parties involved in the program, they asked us what we were trying to get out of this. And everybody was trying to be very nice about it, but the women doing the training, they told us, you are allowed to do it because you want to feel good. You are allowed to feel good about this that you are doing, because it's not taking away from anybody by you feeling good about it. So what made it relevant for me now? Why did I think about this again? I was in the process of putting together a personal website, and I had to make a very conscious decision. I do not like talking about myself. I do not like talking about my projects. I don't like sharing my work. But for the website to mean anything, I had to make a decision to change that, to actually want to talk about myself, put my work out there and talk about my projects. So I had to actually just make a mind shift change. So this is not just about being or feeling all nice about your work and the fuzzies around it. There's actually data that backs up that you can feel good about yourself and that it's a good thing. There are studies that have been done that actually show the confidence that you gain by talking about yourself. There's research that has come out that actually shows that modest self-promotion is actually good for you. And there's been so many things that indicate that when you do talk about yourself and you do feel good about yourself, that you can actually improve your career in that process as well. So how do we put this into practice? So you can share your work without apology. A lot of times we talk about ourselves and actually apologize for it. When someone says that it's great, then you just kind of go, well, anybody could do it. You can celebrate small wins. You can celebrate small wins. So just celebrate the things that you are getting right. And then stop using dismissive language and actually just accept that people are happy with what you are doing. You can practice self-compassion, which is something that I'm actively working on. We very often talk about ourselves or talk to ourselves in a way that you would not talk to anybody else. And then you can actually just let that pride fuel the next project that you will be facing. So, as a colleague of mine often says, build things, tell people. So feeling good about what you do is allowed. Doesn't take away from anybody else, it actually just adds to what you feel. And like I said, it fuels the next project. So the future of our communities actually sits in this one simple thing. People who create great work and aren't afraid to share it. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, do we have Andrew here? If not, we will go to Naomi next. And preparing, I think Astrid taking Mikkel's place. And after that, Hugo.
Hello, hi. Hi, so my name is Naomi Woods. I am a researcher in human perspectives in cybersecurity at the University of Jyväskylä here, but I'm also the CSO for Salus Secure, which is a university spin-out after a 2-year government-funded project looking at inclusive cybersecurity. So I wanted to sort of draw your attention, especially after my keynote speech yesterday, for some of the comments. This came to my mind, is about an incident situation we had where we were talking to a large IT provider and their cybersecurity experts about our product. And the conversation sort of went like this. I like your product, but I don't understand why this is needed. When I want to authenticate myself, I use my company's secure VPN and then the company's device that has the MFA and this software that does blah, 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 and so on. So why would I use anything else? And then I responded, well, you know, this is really good to hear, but what does your mother use? Does she have access to your company's secure VPN? Does she have access to your company's secure device? And does she know how to use an MFA solution? What does she do? And the guy paused for about a minute. He was really thinking about it. He said, well, you know, I don't know. I actually, I don't think she even understands this all. To be honest, I think she just reuses her passwords. But, you know, my way is more secure and it's better. And what this conversation shows is that there are many people who are in organizations that make decisions on how the public authenticate themselves, what solutions they use, but they actually don't understand the user. And this is very obvious when you think about traditional MFA solutions. They're very secure, but they're in addition to the passwords that are out there, and they're too complex for many to use. And there's been a global initiative that has identified the challenges of passwords and multi-factor authentication solutions as being too complex and unusable for many. And there needs to be a solution that's secure for authentication that can be customized and adapted to different user needs and abilities. And this brings me to talk about our solution, which is the world's first inclusive multi-factor authentication solution, which is inclusive for 2 reasons. First of all, it's an inclusive process. It's multi-layered, but it's not in addition to passwords. We have our own secret codes within the process. It has biometrics, dynamic linking, trusted device, and our secret codes that are related, that the user creates in relation to their own memory queues, which is also a part of the process. It is also adaptable for different users with different adaptable features and devices, and it can be adaptable for higher levels of security environments. There is a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes in terms of cybersecurity and technology, but for the user, it's a very simple process. They authenticate themselves using their biometrics to the device. They then confirm that they want to they want to authenticate to the service. They get shown one of the memory keys that they have selected previously, and then they respond with a secret code in response to that. And then they're in. Our solution has many benefits, but it's universal, meaning it's not device or service specific. It's inclusive, we're privacy minded. But one of the key things that I think is interesting is, from our user testing, people really enjoyed using it. They actually had a positive emotional response to authentication. I mean, can you say that about passwords, really, or MFA solutions? So what I'm doing here today is showing you our solution and our new startup. We're basically, not only are we looking for investment currently, but one of the reasons why I'm here specifically is we're looking for our first and our pilot customers, because we have a functional tested POC and we want to move it to the MVP stage, and we really need customers in the real world that we can test it with, and also then hopefully become our customers eventually that will pay us money. So I've been told that you guys are a really good bunch of people who understand inclusivity and accessibility, and I was hoping that maybe if you'd like to talk about it more, I'll be here afterwards, but if not, you can also reach out to me through our website and email. So, okay, that was on the money, wasn't it? Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Naomi. And next up, we have Astrid, and after that, Hugo, and preparing Ivar. Oh, USB-C doesn't work, so let's...
Which one?
Oh no, this works. It's just slow. Oh. Yeah.
But I need to mirror my screen. That's
Other side, yeah.
Let me just
Yeah.
quickly. Okay. A little unprepared, but you'll find out now why. I found out this community quite likes coffee. And there are other places in the world that also have coffee. And they like water. A lot of us in the community like water. Some of us even go swimming in it.
Cool.
There are other places that also have water. And more water, different type of water. And other places, not just water. So we're making a suggestion to possibly, this is all very fresh, so there are no dates, but there's a possible location for meeting in Stellenbosch at the beginning of next year. I know it's very fast. But we'd like to have something that Paul Ruland reminded me of, the CMS Open Garden sprints, that we have something that's maybe a little bit less codey and more strategic, and looking at marketing strategy and getting a proper hold on plone.org and identifying who we're talking to, putting that in place and getting some momentum there, so that we start from the same page, we know in which direction we want to go, and then get some movement there. So January 2026, we don't have a date yet, but I'm looking at either around about the 9th, 10th, 11th, or somewhere in one of those 2 weeks. Our town gets extremely full. You don't want to be there when the students have arrived. So let us know if you're interested. It's quite a nice part of South Africa. South Africa is quite a nice part of the world. Yes, and hope to see some of you there, especially the marketing people.
Thank you. Next up we have Hugo, and after that Ivar, and preparing Sally.
Okay, hello, my name is Hugo van Kemenade and I live in Helsinki. I'm the release manager for Python 3.14 and the one responsible for all the Pi in the release notes. I released Python 3.14.0 just last week, and here are some of the... Thank you. Here's some of the fun new things. One of the exciting new things is template strings. T strings are a generalization of F strings. Their syntax is just like F strings, but with a T prefix. The big difference is T strings give you a new template type. For example, here's a familiar F string. It gives us a string. Here's a T string. So far, it looks the same, except we use a T prefix. However, it has a new type. And the really interesting thing is we can access the internals of what went into the T string in the first place. It's made up of the static plain text parts and the dynamic parts called interpolations. So the T string gives us access to all the parts that went into it. One thing we can use this for is to prevent SQL injection. The user gives you an untrusted T string and you can sanitize it before using it in a safer way. Here's another example. Let's say the user gives us some evil input. With an F string, we just get a string. Well, that's no good. But with the T string, we get all the input parts. We can then sanitize this by iterating over the input parts. If we get a static part, we keep it. Otherwise, for dynamic parts, we can check if it's evil and fix it. And keep the rest. And this gives us sanitized input. You may have noticed the REPL in these screenshots. It has color syntax highlighting. This is also new in 3.14. We started adding color in 3.13 for tracebacks and doc test. And in 3.14, we've added color to unit test and the JSON CLI and argparse help. We've tried hard to pick colors which work well in dark and light mode, have good contrast, and are also still readable if you are colorblind. However, there's a million different temp terminals out there with a million different configs. So we've added experimental theming support so you can tailor the colors as you wish. For 3.14, it's in the underscore colorize module. We'd like you to play with it, and we'll see about creating a public API for 3.15. Let's say we want to make the REPL more Finnish. We can set a new theme in our Python startup file, something like this, and change this into this. Much better. Finally, I also help organize the Helsinki Python and PyData Helsinki meetups. We're always looking for speakers and venues, so get in touch if you'd like to help out your local community. And if you're in Turku, go to Archipelago. Thank you.
Next up, Ivar, preparing Sally, and after that, I guess it's me.
Where is it? Sorry. Okay. And then Yeah, sorry. Well, I guess if my presentation is not putting it in here, I will talk a bit. I actually wanted to talk about MCP as a protocol, being like as a generic API. We are coming to the AI time, like we are not. So MCP will be get interaction, and we have to adapt it, either defending from it or embracing it. If you defend, you use different kind of solutions like Anubis and different stuff. But if you want to adapt, you have to write on it and use MCP as a generic API. What is actually MCP? It's a RPC JSON 2.0 protocol with, so it's rides on RPC, remote procedure call, and it has OAuth 2 authentication, and it has some error handling, so it's pretty nice. But one thing that we probably want to outline is that it's actually quite semantic. Because it includes quite a lot of meta information. Like to establish it, you have to send some method to call some method called initialize, which gives you actually the list of provided resources. So again, without touching any documentation, you can see what you can call and what you cannot, and you have like those kind of each of those resources, like methods, and actual endpoint called resources, and actual endpoint called prompts is specified in specs. They have this kind of list methods, which also provide you like meta information. And for example, those kind of tools, being one of those endpoints, actually that's been told in many presentations. They provide the specs quite similar to to OpenAPI or JSON schema specs, describing what you can call or what you cannot. So we are, by following AI, we are actually getting quite close to what semantic verb was like about, like including meta information into actual interaction with protocols, and maybe we should think a bit about it. And that's what I'm going to talk about. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Next up, Sally. Let's put up.
So I'm here to present the results of our add-on voting exercise. We had 15 people who nominated add-ons, and 41 add-ons were nominated. And press play.
Where do you?
Press play right there. Awesome. So I'll take it from the bottom. 2 add-ons were disqualified because they're already part of Plone, I think, so I didn't count them. An honorable mention with 1 vote. I couldn't find these anywhere. I Googled, I looked on Awesome, I couldn't find it anywhere, so it must be called something else, so come tell me what it's actually called and I'll add it to the list. Honorable mention with 1 vote, these 5 things, but they're not on Collective Awesome, so since some people think they're awesome, you guys who own them should please add them to the appropriate Collective Awesome repository. And then a whole bunch of them that got honorable mention, 1 vote, and that do exist on one or the other of the Collective Awesome repositories. So great, thank you guys. Moving up, in 5th place, we have with 2 votes, these, I think, 7 things, of which the last one needs to be added to Collective Awesome. So please, the owner of past plugins OIDC, add to Awesome. Or whoever, yeah, somebody. Then in fourth place with 3 votes, these 3, collective taxonomy. Volta Light theme was kind of should be disqualified because it's a theme and we were supposed to not nominate themes, but maybe it's more than a theme, so I left it. And guess what? Collective Tech Event also needed to be added to Collective Awesome. In third place with 4 votes, Collective Easy Form, and 3 people voted for, quote, and I quote what they wrote on their thing. A boy called Hero Block. I could not figure out how to transmogrify that. And people said, oh yeah, I know that Hero Block, but I don't know what it's really called. So please, someone come tell me what it's actually called with it so I can look it up and get a URL so I can add it. But I like the idea. Okay, second place with 5 votes, Volto Form Block, and I kind of combined together the Collective Volto Form support also, so forms. And with 6 votes, Collective Export Import, which is becoming part of one anyway, so for the win. Thank you so much, everyone, for voting, and I'll be posting this stuff on plone.org tomorrow. Thank you. Yeah, right, I know. Sorry, I was underprepared.
Let's get you a prize. Thank you, Sally.
Whoops.
All right. It looks like we are coming to an end of this official procedure, but I have one thing still to show you. We have the photo competition winner quickly going through these. This is like a blue, really old, but still works, like Plone, I guess. Then we have a pretty picture from here. So we had this photo competition that which photo gets more likes or something like that wins. Really beautiful pictures. I still want to show these before your mind goes to all the endless results of beer in Maastricht. But let's stay here for a while. Then we have lots of hearts in this picture. There's the Satama Viilu. Oh, this picture rocks. Yeah, I wonder who that. Whoa, that image like screams without noise. Oh, yeah. There we have a pretty lake. It's just outside. Some autumn pictures. Oh, really nice. Really. Oh, what is going on? This is going, we are at the top 10 with this, I think. This is behind the scene of this really cool picture. Yeah, that has got a lot of points. Then more of the beautiful vistas from the lake. These guys actually swam in the cold lake. But that's impressive. And this is some kind of art, I don't know, but someone liked it also. There's a tree, needs a sweater because it's so cold. More of the lake pictures, beautiful. That's what was import logging or whatever, yeah. And another really nice picture of our bridge. Some yellow guys there. Oh, and now we have a picture with lots of likes, like really, really lots. And there are over like 40 of those emojis. And going up to the top 3, I guess, there's this really, really beautiful picture of a lake. And it's maybe turned upside down, but it's like art and lots of different emojis. And then this is how the competition started, by the explicit parental control on the top right corner, and you have this band record album. And calculating the results, the winner would be this one. But wait, woo, yeah. But it has this nasty thing on the right corner, which kind of gives it away that some additional technology was used. We didn't say not to use it, but we want to give the prize to the best photo. So the winner is Jeremy with this one. Welcome, Jeremy. And you have a present here, so you can have it. I took everything what we still got from our stuff to eat, and thank you. All right, that's it. And yeah, we are closing this session, so yeah, it's time to thank you all. Thank you all for coming here to Plone Conference, to PyCon Finland. It was our first time. Let's see if it's the last time, but at least I had fun. So thank you all for coming here. Another thank you to University of Jyväskylä, a really nice place here, Plone Foundation, and a lot of sponsors that we got to make this event happen. So thank you all those guys. Yeah. And I think, what did you, Karel, say? Anyone could have done it, but yeah, I want to thank my team here. If you are brave enough, we don't have to clean yet, but guys, Rita, Jussi, Miro, please come here and take a bow, if you will. Yes, families also. Good, good. All right. Yes. Does some of you want to say something quick still? No? Okay. Tomorrow sprint, and tonight we have kind of two places where we could go. One is Revolution Restaurant, the other is Yellow, or any bar in the city center. So see you guys there. Thank you. Bye-bye.